For years and years, I had boyfriends. I'm one of those girls that would have a boyfriend, and then suddenly, magically, I'd have another boyfriend. Sometimes they kind of overlap. Don't judge me. Shit happens.
If for no other reason, I'm glad I saw Nicole Arbor's video, because the first thing she says is something that I want to put on a list of red flags. You know, warning signs that if you score too high on that list, it's time to pull the ripcord and bail out. That she never pauses between boyfriends. She goes from one to the other, to the other, to the next, to the next. I think some people call that monkey branching. Anyway, I'm John the Other, obviously.
But I'm a boyfriend kind of girl. But now having been single for the first time in a long time, welcome to my new video. Why dating is fucked.
Now, before we get into the meat of this video, I want to point out that Nicole Arbor, who did the material that I'm responding to and commenting on, did her video as a comedy. So although what she's saying can be seen as, you know, truthful or serious, she presented all that for its amusement value. Now, having said that, the fact that a female comedian is using this material as fodder for comedy indicates that there is a level of public social awareness of everything that is being discussed. So in spite of all of the female viewpoint and male-facing public rhetoric in popular media that the men are not manning up and men need to buy women a drink and then men need to marry them up and put a ring on it and all that other groovy shit that guys are just not interested in doing anymore, clearly everybody knows what's up. Everybody knows that dating and romance and the relationships between the sexes are completely screwed. All female viewpoint, which is the dominant viewpoint in dating, women are the selectors, men are the chasers, women are the selectors. All female viewpoint, all female-facing dating advice, all romance advice in women's magazines on how to get the guy to chase you and how to get the guy to stay and how to get the guy to want you and all that stuff, all of it is derived from a book that was written more than 20 years ago called The Rules. Now, The Rules is a set of guidelines for women on how to manipulate, psychologically abuse, and mentally game men. Despite the fact that that book was written 25 years ago, what it contains has been repurposed and repackaged and adopted by the whole of our culture. Almost all women take those rules as the correct, the ethical, the appropriate way to approach men, to let men approach you, to manipulate them, to play games, to lie and cheat and plausible deniability and all that stuff. And the result is a barren, scorched earth landscape in the relation between men and women. But let's look at Nicole Arbor's video and go forward.
When a guy used to want to date a girl, he would ask her on a date. Show up at her house, probably with flowers or something. They'd even say hello to her father. Yeah, that was dating. Guys would plan things. It was an event. It gave girls a reason to get dressed up and smell nice and have a new outfit and feel all pretty and get girly. Yeah.
Now, the format that Nicole Arbor described as, I guess, old school dating can be summarized as women are royalty who must be sought after and treated as princesses and royalty and elevated creatures in some way. But that's not real, because women are not members of a royal class. They're just regular. Food goes in one end and guess what comes out the other. And it is compounded that that's not real by the fact that we are now in a society where men are basically crapped on as a matter of routine. So hardly anybody is willing to still play the game of, oh, you're a princess, you're royalty. No, why would anybody do that, especially when their own identity is degraded and the jig is up that the whole dating routine is an abusive hustle. Nobody wants to do it anymore. Nobody should be shocked.
Most of us girls basically have to act like dudes now. When we go on dates, we want to drop the workness and girl up.
Yeah, what I just said.
If I don't get a piggyback ride from a guy within the first 3 dates, he's out.
I know Arbor here is doing like a comedy routine, but piggyback rides, that's kind of weird, right? And I'll freely admit I don't date. I'm not interested in dating, but when I saw that clip, I thought, piggyback, does anybody do that? Now, I know I've seen advertisements for like romantic getaway hotels with an actor and a female actor on his back doing the piggyback ride thing, but I don't think that actually happens in the real world. And if it does, the dynamic is that the guy underneath doing the ride, like giving the ride, is daddy, the parental figure, and the girl riding on his back is little girl. And I get it. I get that there's this princess fantasy, but I find that dynamic, I grasped around for a word. I find that dynamic, and I was looking for a thing to describe it by, and I was trying to avoid the word that I hate the most. I'll tell you what it was. I find that dynamic creepy. However, I said I don't think that happens. I must correct myself. It does happen with drunk teenagers, but that's it. Drunk teenagers.
Girls gotta have her standards.
Drunk teenagers.
Yeah, I'm sick of guys saying that girls are crazy and clingy because they text you when they like you.
Now, Nicole Arbor makes a whole lot of points, bang, 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 one after another. So I'm going to slow this down and just look at the microcosm of that one statement that chicks or women text you when they like you. Interesting. The problem with that is that text messages don't convey nuance. They don't convey any vocal tone of voice or facial expression or body language or context. They're just little snippets of syllables completely floating in the ether of the world of text messages. And sometimes they're delayed and sometimes they're fast and you can't tell, and sometimes you can't tell if the person isn't responding because they're in the middle of driving somewhere or if they're playing the hide and seek game or whatever. And of course women love this because women love to wrap themselves in multiple layers of plausible deniability. There's never a straight answer. There's never a clear position. You never figure that out. Guys are a little bit more direct and like to be clear in their position, like to have a straight answer, and this is the hide and seek game of dating, which is why, at least one of the reasons why so many guys are just saying, fuck you, I'm out.
Like you're a goddamn 10, you're a 4. And with your shitty personality, you're like a -2.
No video would be complete. No video, about dating and the problems of dating from the position of a woman would be complete without a little barrage of insults, would it? I mean, this is normal. This is what guys have come to expect. The environment of social activity involving women is an environment permeated by, you're not a 10, you're a 2. You're a -2. Yeah, and you wonder, Nicole, why the dating is a barren wasteland.
You're lucky that you don't have to fuck a blow-up doll. Yeah.
You're lucky you don't have a fuck a blow-up doll. Well, I'd give her points. She is entertaining.
If you actually want a real relationship...
I don't want a real relationship, and a vast number of guys are in a similar position who also don't want a relationship. I mean, wasn't that the premise of Nicole Arbor's video? That people don't want relationships? And I think the answer as to why is pretty obvious. Because in the present social climate, at least towards guys, those are abusive and exploitive. So they don't want them. Hello, Captain Obvious.
We have to stop playing fucking games.
Rule number 1, be a creature unlike any other. In other words, employ deception and play games. Rule number 2, don't talk to a man first and don't ask him to dance. In other words, play games. Rule number 3, don't stare at men or talk too much. In other words, play games. Rule number 4, don't meet him halfway or go Dutch. In other words, manipulation and play games. Rule number 5, don't call him and rarely return his calls. In other words, play games. Rule number 6, always end the phone call first. Leave him wanting more, right? In other words, play games. Rule number 7, don't accept a Saturday night date after Wednesday because you create that false sense of urgency and in demand, right? In other words, play games. And I could keep reading, there's many more, and they're all fucking games. And this is from the book, The Rules, published in the 90s, I think, which, although it is a very old book, the principles and the ideas of this book are still current, are the ethic that women employ when dating. Who needs to stop playing games? Oh, Nicole and any other woman watching this, I think if women stopped playing games, the game would still be over because, we have like 20 years of this, of the entire society of women who gleefully and joyfully bought into this, never once stopping and going, wait a minute, this is unethical and abusive behavior. This is manipulative nonsense. Why on earth can I have a relationship based on this manipulation and tactics of lying and deception? Nobody said that. Until, of course, the world of dating collapsed and became the barren landscape that it is now. Now we have people like Nicole Arbor complaining. It's over. It's done. It's too late. Goodbye. Done. And there's a vast and growing number of men throwing their hands up and going, that's it, I'm out. I'm done. Fuck it, I'm gay.
Rule number 1, there are no dates. We just hang out. Because if we said it was actually a date, that would mean that one of us likes each other. And that means one of us could get hurt. And no one wants to get fucking hurt. So nobody wants to go on dates. We just hang out. Oh no, I have caught the feels. What's wrong with feelings? Because that's what we all actually want. Nothing real, just casual.
Oh, you mean that's not what you wanted? Imagine that.
We're all fucking liars. So? It's fucking dumb. Things that humans need. Food, water, shelter, love.
I don't think you're correct there. Well, I'm not like I imagined that Nicole Arbor is actually watching my video. I don't think the point of view being expressed by Nicole Arbor is correct, that this is some sort of actual need. I think it's just a luxury for people who have all their low-level Maslow hierarchy basic needs met.
Dates. You're hungry, you eat. So go get all the stuff you need and stop being so fucking stupid. Yeah.
In other words, go MGTOW, right? I mean, that's the message here, isn't it?
If you even slightly act like you do like the guy or girl, that makes you crazy and clingy.
Last night was fun.
Stage 4 clinger. He just said last night was fun. Block. Wait, before you block him or ghost him, no. Ghosting. Never texting someone back. Because that's not fucking rude.
Now, ghosting is rude, and I completely agree. It's a very rude thing to do. But I think that men and women ghost each other for different reasons. And I think the reason they do it is... honestly, emotional cowardice, a lack of ability to say, no thanks, I don't want to see you again, or, like they're monkey branching and they found some better options, so they wanted to keep you floating along just in case, but they're doing something else, so there is lack of honesty, lack of emotional courage. For guys, though, ghosting, as particularly MGTOW guys who have their eyes open, ghosting has a much more practical and urgent purpose, and that is that when you break up with a woman, when you say, okay, we're done, that's it, thank you very much, no thank you, goodbye, I've had a lovely time, but now we've got to go. If you break up in plain view, like where everybody knows what's going on, you do it cleanly and face to face, or even you have a phone call, you run the risk of an accusation. You run the risk of wrath, of the woman turning, psycho on you, and not just being a pain in the butt, like blowing up your phone, but throwing criminal accusations at you, or coming to your house and wrecking all your stuff, or going to all your friends and telling them an outrageous story that destroys your social circle. Ghosting is a safe exit to prevent damage to your life from a crazy ex. And even if they're not a crazy person, we have a culture now that enables and encourages women to act in a destructive way that they get praise from their friends for doing that. So ghosting has a very practical self-preservative element to it. Even when it's the emotional self-preservative element, which I think it is on the female side, much as you don't like getting ghosted, that's the world we're living in. And I will continue to ghost people when I don't want to talk to them, and with no apology, because it's to prevent carnage. Now, I want to wrap this up by pointing out that this should not be seen as me making fun of Nicole Arbor. I don't have any particular opinion about her. I'm just using her video as a stepping point, because a female comedian is talking about this. There's obviously an awareness in the culture of these issues, and I think this can be talked about in response. I don't think that the boyfriend-girlfriend dynamic is a healthy one. I don't think dating is functional. I think it's dysfunctional, it's abusive, it's exploitive. In the old traditional style, in the modern new style, whatever you want to call it, it's crap. I think there's obviously a place in the world for people getting together and having some kind of interpersonal or sexual or romantic involvement with one another. I mean, everybody still likes to fuck, right? But I think, and people are going to jump on me and give me shit for this, I actually think the fuck buddy style of relationship is probably the most healthy, where both people come into that conversation equally as independent people without this set of expectations. And the important part, though, isn't that you are just anonymously and without any strings or attachments getting together horizontally with your pants off, is that in order to be fuck buddies, you must first actually be buddies. You must actually first be friends. The friends with benefits. The benefits don't come first. The friends come first. It's not a romantic friendship. It's a voluntary friendship. It's just that there's also a component of sex. Anyway, feel free to pile on and accuse me of all kinds of thought crimes for that. Thanks very much for watching, and have a lovely day. Now, the end of the video here. I just want to close with one last clip. I used this early in the video, but I didn't introduce it like this. Let's end with the clip where Nicole Arbor endorses and encourages MGTOW.
So go get all the stuff you need and stop being so fucking stupid. Yeah.